Albania Radios, mirë se vini tek America Talks, këtu në të vetmen radio e cila transmeton 24 orë në 24 muzikë të mirë dhe shqip, mirë po në disa raste gjithçka ndryshon. Në rastin e America Talks flasim më shumë anglisht se sa shqip, sepse anglishtja është instrumenti për të kuptuar më shumë për kulturën dhe mbi gjitha për historitë amerikane të treguara në anglishtën amerikane. In American English, right?
Yes.
Daniel Capretti është me mua si çdo të premte. Daniel, welcome.
Thank you.
How you been?
Nice to be back again with
After
you.
the first show, we had some pretty good opinions in the Facebook page. I read some of them.
Yes, we did.
Okay, that's a good thing, right?
You
Good start.
inspired me, Lydia.
You too.
So, today we're going to talk about education in America. And Francis Trollope, our foreign visitor to America in the 1800s, said the following about American universities. Much is said about how everyone, absolutely everyone, can be educated in America. They believe themselves in all sincerity to have bettered, to be bettering, and to be about to better the whole world in terms of intellectual accomplishments. Which means everyone can get an education in America, and this education is very high quality. So let's discuss this theme with our visiting Fulbright scholar, Elena Shomos.
Hi, Danielle.
So, you have a 3-year connection to Albania.
I do. I've been coming back and forth from Albania for about 3 years now as a student, as a intern, and this year I'm here with a Fulbright scholarship.
And how have you found it?
I love it. For me, it's really exciting because, as was mentioned on the Facebook page yesterday, I have great-grandparents that came from Albania, one from Korça and one from Voskopoja.
So,
Nice.
yes, see? So let's talk about life before Albania. So, we're going back to high school, and you were a young woman, and you were applying to universities. What was that experience like?
Well, for me, the application process was fairly easy. I only applied to 2 schools, the University of Nebraska and then a better-known school in the Chicago area. And I received 2 positive responses, and many people wondered why I didn't go to a bigger city, but what I was really in the market for was a university with smaller class sizes and with a strong study abroad program.
So tell us about, because you went to the University of Nebraska.
I did.
Which is your alma mater. Your alma mater. Do you know what an alma mater is?
No, of course I don't. What is
So
that?
this is, we sometimes import Latin words, and your alma mater is where you went to high school or college.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So tell us about the University of Nebraska.
Well, University of Nebraska, or UNL for short, is in Lincoln, which is the capital of the state of Nebraska. There are about 25,000 students in a city of about 250,000, and so the university is definitely an integral part of the community fabric of Lincoln. We have a diverse student body, students from over 132 different countries. I've even met a few students from Albania over the course of the years.
Wow. Nobody knew that.
Well, that's 25,000 students. That's the population of a, region of Albania, I'm
Yeah, I
sure.
understand.
Exactly. We are also known for our American football team, the Huskers, and we have a joke in Nebraska that on game day, our stadium, which holds 90,000 people, actually becomes the 3rd largest town in the whole state.
Okay, nice. Albanians actually learn more about Nebraska from the movie Nebraska, who was actually Oscar nominated this year. But it's not like for sure.
Oh, life in Nebraska is a good thing.
Okay.
Our state motto is the good life.
Okay, so the movie tells a different story, a wrong story about Nebraska.
Elena will give you the real deal.
Yeah.
I will.
So, how was the all-important freshman year for you at the University of Nebraska?
Oh, my freshman year was amazing because it was definitely better than the year before, where I was experiencing senioritis, which is what we like to call that feeling when you get when you're so tired of being in high school that it feels like a chronic illness. Because I chose to attend university in the city where I had grown up and finished high school, I was finally able to achieve that level of independence in my own city that I'd been longing for since my mid-teen years. And a lot of this independence has to do with the fact that I moved out of my parents' house and into university student housing, which I know can sometimes be a strange concept for Europeans to understand. But even though my parents lived in the same city, my world was the UNL campus, where I attended classes, ate my meals, slept, and even attended yoga at 6 a.m. most days of the week,
Wow.
which sounds crazy, but it was great.
So it sounds like freshman year was extremely positive for you.
I loved it. I really did. And I managed not to gain that freshman 15.
Yes, the infamous freshman 15.
Which is, for listeners who aren't familiar with that, about 7 kilos that new students are expected to gain when they move onto a university campus because of the access that they have to the university cafeteria.
Wow,
Unlimited food.
interesting. Interesting.
Even I gained the freshman 15.
No, you don't look like you gained
Believe
something.
it or not.
Danielle, you don't look so.
So, what was your major then? I assume you had declared your major sophomore year?
I actually declared my major freshman year.
Oh.
I had 2 majors, international studies and French. And I also had a minor in political science. And to have a minor means that you complete a sizable number of courses in that discipline, but not necessarily all of the courses that would be required to earn a major.
And let's talk about both or one of your majors. What types of courses were you taking for, let's say, international studies?
Sure. Well, I have always been especially interested in European Union politics and integration policy. So in addition to studying international relations more broadly, I also did EU law, I did EU politics, and that's really where my interest in Albania was sparked.
Okay.
See?
Very nice.
And did you also study a liberal arts core curriculum? Do you know what that is, Lydian? A liberal arts
Of course I know
core
that. Of course I know that. No, I don't know that actually.
Well, I do because I had to take a liberal arts core curriculum. I took a few anthropology classes, stats, geology, nutrition. We also were required to take a short course. I think it was about 5 or 7 weeks where we had to prove that we knew how to use the library's online and on-the-shelf resources.
So the idea in a lot of American universities is that you declare a major, but you have to take all sorts of other courses. For example, I had to take biology, which I did not like. But they want to make sure that you understand a little bit about everything. So they have liberal arts.
Okay. Jemi duke folur pak për mënyrën se si funksionon edukimi në universitet në Shtetet Bashkuara të Amerikës. Diçka goxha interesante treguar nga Elona Shomos, e cila është në studio, studente e Fulbrightit. Ne vazhdojmë të jemi bashk, por përpara do të ndaj me ju një këngë e cila është shumë e habitshme dhe që është praktikisht Hail Varsity Nebraska fight song. What is that, Elena?
Well, the fight song is what we would listen to before one of those football games and also during the football games.
Ah, okay.
It's a big game day sort of song to get pumped up. And actually, this recording that you're going to play now is important to me because my sister's part of the marching band that plays it.
So that's good. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Është revolucionar, mungonte vetëm zhurma, ulëritja e Luanit për këtë. Elena po ashtu flet edhe pak shqip, kështu që mua më kupton kur flas apo jo, po America Talks, it's all about talking in American English, so we're going to do that in the minutes that remain. And the part 2 of the interview is about American strength.
Yes. So American universities are known for being some of the top universities in the world. What were your most worthwhile academic experiences?
Well, that would have to definitely be the study abroad programs that I participated in Bologna, Italy, Besançon, France, and even a year in Corcha. Not only did these experiences broaden my worldview and shape my perspectives on other countries and cultures, but I was really able to professionalize my language skills. And also, I've decided that I'm going to continue my specialization in European studies, and so that's really exciting.
And did you feel that your programs in Nebraska prepared you to go abroad and take the most advantage?
Oh, absolutely. We actually have sort of a slogan at our university that is "Come to Lincoln and you can go anywhere." So I feel as though I'm the walking, talking example of that.
And back in the States, what are the greatest advantages in terms of coursework and things that you learn?
Well, one of the greatest things about American universities is that they give students time to understand who they are and what interests them as time goes by. So whereas I declared my majors in the first year, some students actually opt to begin university by majoring in general studies, which means you complete 4 liberal arts courses that interest you with the intention of discovering something that you would like to specialize in. And also the ability to double major, as I did, is huge. An excellent example of this is one of my very best friends who had majors in chemistry and French, which might sound a little ridiculous. A lot of people thought it was an odd combination. They even made jokes about her wanting to become a French chemist when she grew up. And they really wondered how that combination would serve her practically and in the job market. But today she's doing really significant work on clothing conservation in Glasgow, Scotland. And guess what? A lot of the documents that she's working with to learn about textiles are in French. So U.S. universities really do give you that opportunity to gain the tools that you will need in future endeavors. So you pretty much get everything that you put into that experience.
So do you think this is the reason why they are some of the highest ranked in the world?
I would definitely say that's a reason. Some other things that come to mind are our focus on research and getting your hands dirty. This is especially true of the hard sciences. We like to do hands-on research as opposed to just theoretical study. Another reason why universities in America might be so highly ranked is the emphasis on student-professor relationships. You know, it's not odd for a group of students and a professor to go out and share coffee or a meal to learn more about each other.
Here is considered corruption.
Exactly.
Okay. Ishin duke folur pak për le themi pikat e forta që ka edukimi në Shtetet Bashkuara të Amerikës, një marrëdhënie veçantë që krijohet me studentëve edhe profesorëve atje, dhe po ashtu se si disa gjëra që në dukje mund të jenë të parëndësishme në kohën që je me studime, më vonë mund të nevojiten shumë dhe një vëmendje shumë e madhe i jepet edhe kërkimit shkencor që këtu tek ne natyrisht ka probleme shumë të mëdha. We're going to hear songs that are, let's say, most played at the iPod of our guest here, Elena Shomos, and one of them is Katy Perry Roar.
It is.
Why?
I like this song. It's a good pump-up song.
Okay. Çdo të premte në orën 17 America Talks sjell histori të amerikanëve duke zgjedhur që të thuhen në anglisht dhe po ashtu duke ndihmuar një pjesë për jush që din mirë anglisht të mësojnë më mirë dhe të tjerë që din shumë mirë kapin ca frazat të cilat nuk përdoren zakonisht dhe që mbi gjitha mund të mësohen duke studiuar më shumë se sa duke parë filma apo seriale në gjuhën angleze. Në studio me ne është Elena Shomos, studente Fulbrightit, një njeri që ka të paktën një vit që jeton në Shqipëri. Ja ka marrë paksa dorën mënyrës shqiptarë të jetuarit, po është duke na treguar në America Talks për edukimin, për universitetet në Shtetet Bashkuara të Amerikës. Right, Daniel?
Yes, whatever you said. So now we're going to talk about extracurriculars. Legion, do you know what extracurriculars
Yeah, we do.
are?
We do. Everyone who had done the university knows what extracurriculars are. Okay.
So, for those this term is new to, these are extra things you do outside the classroom, and Americans love them. So tell us, Elena, what extracurricular activities did you do while at the University of Nebraska?
Oh, Danielle, I was a total nerd. I still am. I mentioned my early morning yoga practices, but I also loved French club.
Great. And have these things helped you after university?
Well, yoga is something you kind of take with you for life no matter where you go. I try to go to yoga classes in Tirana as often as possible, or I can practice at home. But generally speaking, one of the strengths of any sort of extracurricular activity is that they teach you to interact with people from all backgrounds who may or may not have similar interests with you, and that's definitely a skill that you need even beyond a university campus.
Okay, question. Is this like mandatory in the universities in America, or is it like something that you do to like put the studying part apart in a sense?
Well,
like,
yes and
cool
no.
down.
To answer your first question, it is not mandatory.
Okay.
It's completely, at your will, but I wouldn't say that it's even completely separate necessarily from your university education. I just mentioned, French club. That was totally connected with my French classes.
Okay.
And I studied theater, and we did theater productions. So,
So in a way, they are connected to what you're going to do next in life after the university.
And why do you think being well-rounded is so important to Americans?
Well, I think it makes you a better critical thinker, for one, and I also think that looking at the world through multiple lenses can give you a better and more cohesive picture of humanity as a whole.
Okay. Më pas Daniel do të na tregoj më shumë sa I përket termave të reja që keni dëgjuar gjatë këtij transmetimi. Ka për të gjithë ne, përfshirë mua që jam këtu në studio, terma të reja edhe aksioma të cilat janë përdorur gjatë kësaj interviste dhe më pas Daniel do të na I shpjegoj të gjitha. I was telling about the thing that you're going to do in last of the part of the interview where like you're going to go inside what everything Elena Shomo said and like explain it for everyone who has heard us today.
Yes, I will.
Uh-huh.
I will. But before that, we're going to talk about academic trends. Let's talk about the future. So
yeah, that's a good point.
At this point, everyone can get a university education in America. What is your opinion about this development?
Well, I think that the fact that everyone can get a university education in America is a great development. Essentially, if you work hard in high school, almost anything is possible. There are all kinds of higher education opportunities tailored to individual wants and needs. And I think that in addition to all of that and everything that you learn from books and classes in a university, you can also learn extremely valuable lessons in contributing to a community and participating in society as a whole.
And how do you think American universities will change for the next generations?
Well, technology for sure is making huge differences for American universities and students already, and I'm sure that that isn't going to stop anytime soon. I think that the liberal arts and core courses that we talked about earlier are going to continue to be made available online and through distance learning, as opposed to having to sit in a classroom for a class that doesn't necessarily interest a student as much.
So let's talk about distance learning. What is that?
That means that you can take a full course prepared by a professor online. This might include a pre-recorded video with an online quiz, and maybe once or twice a semester you have to go into a test center and take an exam so that they can make sure you're not cheating.
Is it better than a traditional way of?
Well, I took an online econ class and I took my nutrition class online. So for economics, actually, I would have preferred to be in a classroom, but I didn't have the possibility at that time because of some scheduling issues. But nutrition, oh my God, it was perfect to have it online because I didn't have to go to the class. It wasn't something that particularly interested me, so I could do it in the middle of the night if I wanted to.
Okay.
And most importantly, what would you say to Albanian students thinking of applying to an American school?
Well, I always try to encourage Albanian students to look at schools that specialize in what they're interested in instead of just looking at the name of a school and making a decision based on a brand name. Oftentimes, state schools in smaller towns will offer more opportunities for international students to be integrated into the larger community. And I guess my biggest suggestion to Albanian students is to use the resources that are available to you as you begin to think about your choice of university in the application process. Albania is extremely lucky to have an Education USA Center, and I know they're excellent staff and they're ready to help you in all aspects of the application process, like choosing a major, test prep, and also finding international student scholarships so that will make hopefully the cost of the education in the U.S. a little bit less expensive.
American schools love diversity. It's a big thing for them. So it would be perhaps exciting for them. We have an Albanian student here.
Not new, but exciting.
Well,
because many Albanians have studied there in the past, I think, 15 years.
Well, I mentioned that even on University of Nebraska campus, I've met some Albanians.
And in your opinion, given your experience with Albanian schools, what is the biggest difference that Albanian students can expect in the U.S.?
Well, I hinted at this before. I think that the emphasis on strong student-professor relationships is really important. But in addition to that, I think Albanian students can expect to live in an international community for the most part anymore, no matter what type of university they choose, public, private, big, small. I think that's really one of the greatest things for everyone, not just international students, but for Americans as well, because we can really be cultural ambassadors for each other and learn a whole lot about other places and different cultures.
Okay, that's a good thing. E dëgjuat pra se kushdo mund shkoj për studiuar në Shtetet e Bashkuara të Amerikës dhe një prej gjërave më të bukura që tha Elena është se nuk duhet të tërhiqeni aq shumë nga marka, pra nga një universitet i cili është globalisht i njohur se sa nga ajo që ofrohet posaçërisht për ju edhe kërkesat tuaja. Ndonjëherë universitetet shtetërore në Shtetet e Bashkuara të Amerikës janë shumë më afër kërkesave të individit në krahasim me universitetet e mirë njohura amerikane që kanë edhe një lloj reputacioni për shkak të le themi edhe marketingut që bëhet ka hera. Dhe sa i përket ndryshimeve që mund të gjejë një student shqiptar atje nuk është se ka në një ndryshim të madh. I guess we're done, right?
Well, we have a song, and then we have American English Concept Corner.
Yeah, so we will stay here, but Elena is going to go. So do e bëjmë përshëndetje në shqip apo në anglisht?
Mund të bëjmë në shqip.
Mund ta bëjmë në shqip.
Po.
Ne të falenderojmë që erdhe.
Faleminderit ju.
Ishte shumë qejf të kishe këtu, ishe komplet si shoqja jon. Our pal.
Do vi prap.
Kur të duash.
Faleminderit.
Me qefin më të madh. Why times like these from Foo Fighters?
Well, I love American rock. I love the Foo Fighters. I love the Chili's. So I thought this was a great song. It sort of talks about the future. You know, a good way to end.
Foo Fighters, times like these.
American English Concept Corner. So first we discussed Elena's alma mater. And this is the school from which a person graduated. For example, their high school or their college or university. We also talked about freshman year. And this is a student's first year of high school or college in the US. Thirdly, we discussed a liberal arts curriculum. And this is a plan of study in which students take courses in topics other than their major in order to give them broader knowledge of the world. And finally, we talked about extracurricular activities. And those are activities that students do at school outside the classroom.
Okay, kjo ishte përmbledhja e atyre që diskutuam sot, right?
So, do you want to win an iPod? Who doesn't? Be the first to answer our quiz question about this program correctly and you can win one. The question will be posted on the U.S. Embassy Facebook page before the next program. See the U.S. Embassy webpage for all the contest rules. This program will also appear on the U.S. Embassy YouTube channel in the near future.
Ky është një lajmërim shumë i rëndësishëm për gjithëve që na dëgjoni, na kuptoni në anglisht, mësoni diçka më tepër dhe fitoni një iPod, se kush nuk do të fitojë një iPod. Nëse ju doni të bëheni me një iPod, atëherë përgjigjuni sakt pyetjes që do të shfaqet në faqen e Facebookut të Ambasadës Amerikane në një prej ditëve që ndjekin përpara programit të radhës që është të premten e ardhshme. Përgjigjuni në mënyrë të saktë dhe do të bëheni fituesi i iPodit. Rregullat i gjeni në faqen e Ambasadës Amerikane në internet dhe po ashtu mos harroni se programi transmetohet në faqen zyrtare të Ambasadës Amerikane në YouTube. Ritransmetohet gjithashtu ditën e diel këtu në Top Albania Radio prej orës 10 deri në orën 11 dhe po ashtu na gjeni në faqen tonë zyrtare në internet topalbaniaradio.com. I'd like to thank Daniel which had made another great show.
And thank you for being such a pleasant host.
Thank you very much. Do të takohemi të premten e ardhshme gjithmonë në orën 17 me American Talks, me programin i cili ju bën të mësoni disi më shumë anglisht duke po ashtu mësuar histori interesante të amerikanëve që vijnë këtu në studio. Ajo që ishte sot quhej Elena Shomos, me prejardhje mendoni pak nga Voskopoja. Ama me shije amerikane tipike, sepse këngën e fundit që zgjodhi ishte kjo e Lady Gaga, You and I. Bashkë do të dëgjohemi të premten e ardhshme. Natën e mirë, paçi fat.